TTPH. So that's when we're going to be watching. 950 is resistance. Currently the ask is 950. A little bit of pre-market volume, not much. So now let's flip on back to Fidelity and check out what you guys are wanting to look at. I know I saw Netflix. That's not right. And here we go. Okay, so Netflix this morning is trading about at the range that we closed, able to turn the 100 period moving average into support, but the 200 period is still resistance. So resistance is 96.01, support 95.45. We have 10 minutes until the open, so I expect the price at the open to bounce around these levels first thing, and we will see if we are able to turn this resistance into support, which would indicate a bullish day, or vice versa, a bearish day, turning support into resistance. Netflix, as we have seen the past couple weeks, has had an extremely volatile first minutes. So the first don't really give us any indication of what the rest of the day is going to look like. So I would suggest, unless you are feeling risky and want a piece of that volatility, sitting back and watching to see how it unfolds after the first 10-15 minutes there for Netflix. Let me hop back in the chat and see what we're looking at. Nugget. Currently 260, we have the 100 and 200 period moving average resistance of 265 and 267. Pulling up the daily chart here to give myself a refresher of the levels we are watching. We had a bullish reversal hammer form on Friday. Could not confirm it yesterday. We found a doji, which is also a bullish reversal candlestick, but we need the confirmation candlestick, a nice green one. If we see that today, that will confirm the bullish reversal. We have 10-day moving average resistance of 286. And we are also looking at the high of the day yesterday for resistance, and that level was 279. Support was 253. So it's going to be all about if Nugget can turn the 100 and 200 period moving average resistance into support here this morning. You guys had a bullish day yesterday. This morning, a nice run up, but is consolidating off of that, trying to hold 100 period moving average support, struggling to do that. Currently below it, that level is $8.98. Let's just call that $9. We're going to see some $9 resistance until we can break above it. So keep your eye on you guys, $9. If it's able to turn $9 into support, we'll see continued move up. Yesterday was a very bullish break above the daily chart pattern that we've been seeing on you guys. So that was a good sign for the bulls there. Google. Not much pre-market activity. We have the 200 period moving average support, which is going to be big to keep your eye on at 652.47. Pulling up the daily chart for Google here to see some moving average support and resistance levels, as pre-market doesn't really tell us much with very high price stocks like PCLN or Google. Very key support of the 50-day moving average has been driving the price up, and the middle Bollinger Band has been driving the price down. So resistance of the middle Bollinger Band is 652.64. Currently above that level, so that's a good sign for the bulls. And 50-day moving average support, which is much more key, is 646.02. So close over 660 would be a very bullish sign today for Google, and a sign that the high off the market crash bounce, which was 674, that will be tested if we get a close above 660. Eyes had a very ugly candlestick. Well, it was a mixed bag for eyes, because on the daily chart we did have a close above middle Bollinger Band, which is what we were looking for a very bullish sign, but the candlestick was extremely ugly. It was a gravestone doji with a very big upper wick, which signals a bearish reversal. We'll see if we get a red candlestick today. Currently, I see a little bit of price action at 10.25, so that's a very good sign as we closed at 9.92. If $10 is turned into support today, it will, like I said, be a good sign for the bulls. 10.50 is resistance, and currently in a nice uptrend if we can close above $10. That is the target for today, a close above $10 for eyes. Let's look at SPY. I'll get back to GoPro Deep. We already covered it, but I can give another quick backup. So for SPY, we are looking at the 20 period moving average support, which is catching up after the breakout here, 196.34. That's going to be a key level, and of course the most key levels are the 100 and 200 period moving average supports of 196.06 and they're both 196.06 at the moment. Actually, we have the 100 period is sloping up and going to cross the 200 period here. So those are going to be key supports. If we break these supports, it's going to be bearish on the day. We're looking for a break of 197.01, the high of yesterday, and we are watching the middle Bollinger Band resistance of 197.73, which is going to change at the open and drop down a little bit lower. So first target of resistance is 197.01, and support, we got these moving averages to watch. Quick check-in on GoPro, looking good this morning here. Higher highs. The high yesterday was 34.58. That's going to be a key level to watch. And looking really good this morning. So congratulations to Fiona, as I said earlier. ACI. TTPH, I already went over. We're seeing a lot of repeat tickers here. So if you guys can try and get in first thing, I'm on at 9:15 on the dot every morning. So that would be ideal, so not having to repeat. But ACI is currently at 487. Looking at the daily chart, because there's not a whole lot of movement here pre-market. Seeing a bullish reversal confirmation candle on the daily chart. Let me flip over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We have the doji here that formed off the downtrend consolidation. And this was a nice double bottom support. The low was 359, a low of 361, higher low, and took off, confirming the bullish reversal. Middle Bollinger Band resistance 484, 100-day moving average resistance 487. So those are some tough levels. Closes above those would be a great sign for some continuation. Nice spike in volume. RSI curling up back over 50. So we will see if the bulls are going to turn the 100-day into support and make another attempt at the 200-day resistance. Watch volume on ACI. TTPH is just an oversold stock. We are watching for a break of 950. The high of yesterday was 964. Keeping our eye on volume, and there's not much pre-market action there. So just look at the daily chart as to what we're looking for. Bullish reversal confirmation occurred yesterday, and we're going to see how much follow-through we can get. BABA currently under 62 is bearish. Looking at the daily chart here, still struggling very hard with the 10-day moving average resistance. Same old story there. The low 61.48 of yesterday. If that breaks, we are coming down to 60.25, which was the low on September 8th. That's what we're looking at on the daily chart. Let me flip over to Fidelity to show you the 5-minute chart. Just not much to see there, but a steady downtrend. The low pre-market of 61.51 is being tested right now. We'll see if that's going to be a double bottom, and we just broke it right there. So we'll see 61.48 is now the must hold, or 60.25 is coming. So we got the bell ringing here in 3 minutes. Let me look at win on the daily chart. That was another really oversold stock. Let's see if the bulls were able to muster any kind of move. WYNN on the daily chart. Bullish reversal candlestick formed yesterday. We'll see if we can get some follow through there. The 10-day moving average resistance is up at 71.91, so a little bit of room for a bounce here. We have the MACD very close to a bullish cross, and the RSI is oversold, so look for a break of the high 68.65. Let's see where we're trading at this morning. 68.57. So look for 68.65 to break. If it does, $70 could be on tap for this morning for win. Watch volume. Volume yesterday was 3 million. Want to see an increase in volume for a bullish continuation. 2 minutes until the bell. ARMH. Not much action pre-market, a little spike in volume right here. 44.70 ARMH looking at the daily. Nice little uptrend off the market crash. We've got 50-day moving average resistance of 44.55, currently trading above that. That is a nice gap up open here. Watch the upper Bollinger Band, currently 44.87, but will be higher with the open. Definitely some resistance there, so want to see if the gap is going to fill or if it's able to hold that resistance. Volume was very low of 1.15 million yesterday, so want to see an increase there. And if we turn the 50-day moving average into support and ignore the upper Bollinger Band resistance, there is a nice move to make up to $47 if the bulls can muster the strength. I guess muster is the word of the morning. Fit. Nice uptrend here pre-market, perfect higher lows and higher highs, nice volume spike. Currently seeing a little bit of pullback. Looking on the daily chart for key support and resistance levels. Currently 33.30, so that puts us below the 10-day moving average, which is 33.48. That has been a thorn in the side for the bulls for a while now. We had a low of 31.25 and then a higher low. This is actually our third higher low. We had a low of the market crash of 30.51, higher low of 31.25, and then another high low. So keep your eye on the 10-day moving average for fit. So we got the open here, SPY looking good. GoPro looking good as well. And we're going to be watching the 20-day moving average as well as, or 20-period moving average as well as the 100 and 200. TTPH hit a high first thing of 950 and pulled back, so that is definitely some key resistance there. Cliff is testing support of 920. That is an important level to hold. Sunni up to 1091, looking to see if we're going to test $11 here first thing in the morning. So Cliff just did hold the 320 level. If we see a move up to 330, it could be a bullish sign for Cliff here first thing in the morning. Netflix pulling back hard all the way down to 94 now. Let me pull up the daily chart to see where we're headed with Netflix. Netflix, we have support at 93.55, and if that falls, there's a long way down to go. So keep your eye on 93.55 for Netflix. Sunni is over 11, a nice, very bullish start here. Keeping our eye on 1130s now, which was the high of the day twice recently. And keeping our eye on volume as well. Sunni total volume yesterday was 21 million. Middle Bollinger Band is 1124 and 10-day moving average is 1145. Those are some levels to watch, but need to maintain $11 support, which it currently is struggling with a little bit. So Cliff is looking bullish. This might be one that you want to get in and put a stop loss at break even or a stop loss under 320 because 320 has been the low of the day twice now. We have the 20-period moving average support of 327 just turned into support. 130,000 volume here first thing. Let's see what volume break we're looking for. I believe it's around 3 million for yesterday. 6.8 million, way off. So a break of a stop. If I were in Cliff CLF, I would have a stop loss at about 318. So here's TTPH breaking 950, just hit 951, so that is definitely a bullish development, but still struggling there, so a little bit too early for me. Apple is absolutely getting killed. You are correct. Watching this one for an oversold bouncer eventually. Filling the gap that we saw from yesterday. Sunni, a very big 25-cent pullback. That is a very active, volatile stock this morning, as usual. For Apple, we are looking at support, or the gap fills at 114.21. So that, in my opinion, might be the market maker's target. So TTPH is back above 950. Watch for that to turn into support. That will be the first sign that we might have some bullish activity this morning. So the 200 period moving average resistance of 1090 for Sunni is really what's knocking the price down. Having a hard time getting above and staying above that. 100 period support is 1071. If we can't turn 1090 into support, we're coming down to 1071 for Sunni. .92 test for Facebook. 9201 just held as support. So 90.50 is now the bid for TTPH, and we are looking pretty good there for some continuation. Now up to 90.60. It's going to be a quick mover as it is an under $10 stock. Watching for volume, which is showing up this morning. Volume yesterday, the total was 4.2 million, so not anywhere near that. So all about 1090 for SUNY this morning. GoPro looking good. A little bit of a pullback here first thing, but seeing a little recovery as well. Netflix, nice bounce off 93.79. I believe 93.55 was the must-hold support level. Still some work to do there, though, on the 5-minute chart. Cliff coming back down to potentially test 320. If that holds again, it'll be another point for the bulls. And here's TTPH seeing a very nice move first thing in the morning. Look at that daily chart and look at how big of a gap there is to fill. And look at the nice support that was found in the past 2 days. A break above $10 is bullish. A close above $10 is very bullish. And we had a high on the pullback or the gap down, which was 1024. And if we break that, there is no telling how high we could go. It would be a really nice swing play to set a stop loss and watch run. Period moving average support for TTPH is 948. Nice increase in volume here on the second candlestick. First candlestick closed with 75,000 volume. Second candlestick is only 1 minute in and already has more volume. So we're going to see a big spike in volume here on the second candlestick. SUNY is back over 1090. Need to turn that into support. Here is SPY trying to maintain the 20-period moving average support, 2 lower wicks below it, and able to maintain thus far. Looking a little better here for SUNY the more we get over 1090. So Cliff just lost 320, that low. Now we will sit back and be very cautious and watch for bullish reversal candlestick signs to show, but it is certainly getting closer and closer to being done its consolidation. We're watching $3 even support there. $196.27 and $196.26 are the two lows of these candlesticks for SPY, so that is support we are watching. TTPH heading up closer to 970. It just broke a new high of day. Actually, I missed it. 975 is the high of day there. Little bit of a wide bid and ask. That should calm down after the first 15 minutes and tighten up a bit. So SUNY just lost 1090 again. Looking more and more like 1070. 100 period moving average support will be tested. GoPro seeing more pullback. Very steep drop. Lower low candlestick formed. Key support is 33.18 and 33.15. Those are must hold levels. Otherwise, GoPro is going to look bearish if it cannot maintain that support. Not much movement in Mobileye. Eyes is still struggling with $10 resistance. Lulu is pulling back pretty hard. Support for Lulu is the low from yesterday, 53.15. PCLN key support is 1284. Currently testing that level. We have the 100, 200, and 20 period moving averages all lining up there. So TTPH is looking good, the most bullish play from the list this morning here. And SUNY is heading down to the 100 period moving average support. Now 1071, so that moving average support is moving up for SUNY. TTPH keeps setting new high of days, and that is going to be the winner for today, in my opinion. Watching $10 resistance as the RSI is approaching overbought. Very quick mover there, so not for the weary-hearted. Lots of 10-cent swings in seconds. So let's check back in with SPY. Not able to maintain the 20 period moving average support, and we're going to come down and test these very key supports of 100 and 200 period, which are 196.08 and 196.06. If we break those, it will break the higher low and higher high pattern seen from this morning pre-market. SUNY is back to testing that 200 period moving average resistance. You can see the first three candlesticks this morning, it has been a roadblock that is hard to get over. Lower highs, 1090 is the key for SUNY. Facebook lost $92 support. So we are currently seeing Facebook confirm the bearish reversal candlestick that formed yesterday. I pointed that out in the video and on the watch list. The support is currently 91.85. Low of yesterday was 91.60. So watch 91.85 and 91.60. A break of 91.60, and we could see a move down to 10-day moving average support of 90.17. So we'll see if the bulls are able to hold this 50-day moving average. Nice move for SUNY here. Need to close above 1090 and keep it as support. Watching volume as well. 3 minutes left in this candlestick. Higher high. That's a good sign, breaking the lower high pattern. TTPH is back to testing its high of day. GoPro, nice recovery with SPY. Or with SUNY here. Maybe SPY is leading the charge. Let's see if SPY's candlestick looks similar to these two. It doesn't, so negate that, what I just said. $20-period moving average support for GoPro is 33.46. Want to break the pattern of lower highs that has formed the first three candlesticks this morning. And to do that, we need to break 33.72. SUNY still struggling to hold that 1090 level. Very close here. The candlestick closes in less than 2 minutes. TTPH continuing onwards to $10 resistance. I believe it was Eat Wow Zero who brought that to our attention, so thank you for pointing out TTPH. Here comes a new high of day. Very good looking stock. But as I said, getting overbought. Probably will see consolidation off the $10 mark. Nice increase in volume here, these first three candlesticks. RSI now at 74, so not very overbought, but definitely getting there. And SUNY is back below 1090, so I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it again, 1090 is absolutely essential this morning on SUNY. Amazon, lower wicks, showing a little bit of support here. We'll see if it's able to turn around into some bullish candlesticks. GoPro looking good with a break of a higher high. There it is, and now heading towards the high of the day. So GoPro looking good. If $34 is able to turn into support, it will be a good sign for GoPro to finally get this bounce going. We saw the Gravestone Doji yesterday, looking for bullish confirmation today, which so far is happening. Netflix is looking bearish. And again, 93.55, a break of that level. And we could see some more downside for the next day or two for Netflix. Let's see how SPY is doing. So coming down, SPY still lower lows and definitely going to test the 196.30 and 190. Oh, that's not right. 196.08 and 196.06 support. Notice the decreasing volume, so that shows that the bears are slowing down, losing steam here. So I would expect this support to hold first thing, but we will have to stay on top of it because that could easily change. Heading up towards $10 here for TTPH, looking very good. Netflix looking like it's going to come down and test the low of the day, and then 93.55 key level after that. GoPro looking good, trying to get over 34. Mobileye, not much movement at all. Pretty close to taking it off my watch here, just because there's nothing really going on. Let's pull up PCLN for there instead. 1282, so we got 1280 as support, and we've got 1275 key support. Break 1275, and it will lead to some bullish downside, or bearish downside, excuse me. SUNY keeps trying this resistance level. Certainly not giving up. But definitely a straight line with all upper wicks pulling back below it. Thank you, Denise. Apple hit a low of 114.75. I forget the level I said for the gap fill. Checking the daily chart for that. The gap fills at 114.21. So that may be a target there. The RSI is still 30, so we could see 114.21 here in the next 10 minutes. That might be a target for a bounce. There's a lower low. 114.21. RSI is now 27. And if we hit 114.21 in the next 5 minutes, RSI will be close to 20. TTPH, high of day. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot today. Up 5% already. Going to stay on Apple here just to see if we do hit this 114.21 target. Inching closer here. RSI now under 26. Keep setting new lows. Let's check other time frames for support. 60 minute. Support's way down at 112. 30 minute. 113.84 is support. And on the 15 minute, 113.83. So not much support around the gap fill area. So it's going to be solely on the gap fill. TTPH blew through $10. Very bullish stock. Been saying it all morning. After we turned 950 into support, broke 964, it was off to the races. Overbought at the moment. I certainly do not suggest entry at this moment. Risk versus reward does not favor you if you do, but it is running, that is for sure. Awesome alert. Great teamwork. That is perfect example of how this community can thrive together. I would have never looked at this stock had a member point it out. I looked at the chart, really liked what I saw, and we are seeing the follow through of that today. Teamwork. So TTPH, the high off the very oversold gap down was 1024. Break of 1024, and there is no stopping TTPH. 10-day moving average resistance is up at $26, so that gives you a sense of how quickly it dropped off a cliff. Apple bounced. The low was off of 114.42, so it missed our target by 21 cents. We're going to watch it here. We're going to watch the 4-period exponential moving average resistance that has been driving the price down, and going to wait to see if we can get that 114.21 target. That was a very quick bounce there, though. So volume for TTPH again yesterday was 4.2 million. We already are at 750,000. So let's see some quick math. That's about 1/6 of what we are looking to get. So 1/6 the volume in the first 20 minutes is, I would expect, a bullish increase in volume today. RSI is probably up around 80 at this point, or it did hit 80 at its high. Look at that, RSI 80.05. Look at charts thousands and thousands of times, and you'll be able to get a sense of where things are without even looking at them. SUNY back over 1090. Let's see if this is going to be the final bull push to turn this into support. We have nice 3 candlesticks of higher lows. And watching 1090. SPY looks to be slowing down the pullback. Looks to be holding the support level. Look at that nice lower wick bouncing right above the 100 period moving average support. That is a bullish reversal hammer, and seeing some follow through here with a break of a higher high. 20 period resistance is 196.41. Key level to turn into support to get the bullish move going for today. Big ask on SUNY at 1097. If that gets erased, it means the bulls are strong. Back under $10 for TTPH, seeing that overbought consolidation might be allowing some entry here. 20 period moving average support is down at 958, so could see a drop down to the 960s here, and it might be a good time to get an entry if you have not already. And there's the bulls showing up right there, keeping $10 as support. So who knows? Watching the pattern of higher lows that keeps forming. CLF, not giving up on it yet. It broke the low by 3 cents. If we see a break of the high of the day, it will pique my interest a little bit here. Facebook back over 92. We're flirting with that area of resistance. GoPro with a high of 34.10, which is a lower high than we saw yesterday. Need to see a break of a higher high. 34.58 would be a bullish break for GoPro. So SUNY up to test $11. Looks like that 1090 is going to be support. There is $11 now, and seeing a run to the high of the day. You can see as it keeps flashing back and forth between bid and ask that it is definitely a resistance level here, $11. But the bulls are not giving up. Back and forth. TTPH heading up towards its high of day, not much consolidation. SPY looking good. That's probably why we're seeing a SUNY spike. Nice bullish reversal confirmation, trying to turn that 196.42 into support. Nice spike and win, heading towards the $70 target. RSI is overbought, so I do not suggest entry at this point. Sure thing, Fiona. MPO, also overbought. RSI up at 88. That is a bearish reversal candlestick. A break of 626 will confirm it. Almost a short opportunity there, although there is 200 period moving average support at 606. Looking at the daily chart for SSYSS, definitely watching the 3D printing sector for a bottom, as the bubble definitely burst in that sector and the smoke will clear eventually for a nice bullish uptrend. So we have a high from the market crash bounce was 31.12. 50-day moving average resistance is 31.13, so I am going to need to see 50-day moving average resistance turned into support for SSYS to get a bullish uptrend going, and that will be a longer term uptrend. We will keep the 3D printing sector on watch for a longer term swing play for the end of 2015 here. PPE TTPH testing its high of day, and there's the break. Bull City 1024 is the key resistance from, and there it goes, boom, gone in a second. Here is a run now. Overbought RSI. If you are not in this stock, I do not suggest getting in now. The risk versus reward is not in your favor. If you are in this stock, congratulations, and let it run. In my opinion, we could have a multiple day runner here. Watching volume, we will see consolidation down to $10 again today, in my opinion. Awesome. So you can see right there, we just hit a high of 1038, and the bid 10 seconds later was 1020, an 18-cent drop. Very volatile. Netflix seeing a lot of upper wicks and lower wicks indecision here. The low of the day is support of 93.61. 93.55 is key support on the daily chart. And we have the 20-period moving average resistance of 95.07. If we see a break of 93.55, we could see some more downside for Netflix on the day. TTPH is running wild in the streets. Awesome runner. RSI is at 82, so it is approaching overbought. I would expect perhaps we see some psychological resistance at 1050 before a pullback. If you are in this stock and want to trade it, taking profits within the next 10 minutes might be a good idea in trying to reload. But if you are looking at this daily chart and see what I see with all the room that is left to run, maybe you are setting your stop loss at about 990 or break even or wherever you're at and letting this run for a couple days to see what kind of move we can get here. $11 still some resistance here for Sunni, back and forth with that one. SPY is looking good off the bounce on key support. Looking to see if we're going to get a back test here. Currently a doji forming. Back test of support is 196.44, and we came down to 196.45, so that is the back test right now and looking to pass it. PCLN is looking good off of 1280 support. Awesome trade, Walidi. Jim, I wouldn't say that is a bad idea. Take the profit while you have it and keep your eye. Well, we're about to break high a day here. See if that happens. There it goes. 1050 resistance. There it goes. We got a runner. So yeah, I would RSI now up at 84. Taking profit here, absolutely no shame. Grab your money while you have it. Watch 1061, big ask there. A little bit of resistance. Take your profit and stock the trade for some consolidation and perhaps re-entry for continuation into tomorrow. We are currently up 11%, so we will see consolidation in the near future for TTPH. Watching Cliff for a break of the high of the day. $10.61. There was that big ask. Let's see if we can eat through it here. Looking like we might, and continue on up. RSI is now 85. In a play like this, depending on how many shares you have, I would suggest scaling out, selling, a third or a half at a time. And there is really no resistance to be looking at here on the daily chart. This could go up to $15 this week if the bullish momentum is behind it. Look at this move. 13% now. It's almost like a penny stock. RSI is now over 85. Might even potentially be a short opportunity if we keep going up at this rate. Sunni, nice break of $11. High of day, 11.10. We're watching that. Nice job, Jim. Bearish reversal candlestick is forming, but a long way to go before it's set. Looking at Lulu on the daily chart, and Lulu has lost support. It broke the double bottom support of the pullback, 52.88 and 52.91, fell right through there, so there's more downside coming here for Lulu. Unable to confirm the bullish reversal. We had Friday, we had a hammer signaling the bullish reversal. On Monday we saw a doji, which does not confirm the bullish reversal, but keeps it open for today to confirm the bullish reversal, and we are not seeing that confirmation. Need a green candlestick, and have not seen a green candlestick to confirm. So more downside coming. It will bounce eventually, but it was not ready yet. Any entry before bullish confirmation on the daily chart is a riskier trade, obviously. More risk, more reward. But stop losses are essential. Anyone in Lulu that didn't have a stop loss just below the key support of 52.88, that is definitely a habit you want to get into. Looking at GoPro for deep here. Checking out SPY for deep. TTPH might be slowing down. There is a new high of day for Sunni, so looking very good there. Able to turn 1090 into support. Let's see what kind of resistances we're looking at Sunni. Hourly 200 period moving average resistance is 11.11. That's going to be a toughie. A close above that by 11 o'clock would be a great sign. There is a very big ask at 11.11 right there. It's not a coincidence that is some key resistance. And you see how quickly that ask erased? That is very bullish. That was a huge ask that just disappeared. Big buying. Look at that volume spike. Still 2 minutes left to go. So TTPH is definitely consolidating now. Congratulations to everybody that took profits. Bearish reversal candlestick on big volume. RSI needs to cool off. 969.20 period moving average support. $10 psychological support. Looking at the Sunni daily chart for the resistance levels. Middle Bollinger Band resistance 11.25. And 11.46 10-day moving average resistance after that. Looking like we're going to see 11.25 here. Not sure what you mean by 5.8, but I would look. Oh, you mean 4.8 for exponential moving average support? I would be waiting for a test of $10 support for TTPH. Volume is very bullish comparatively. We've got 1.6 million, and yesterday's total volume was 4.2 million. So you're going to see a big spike there. Normally, I'd be looking at this stock, I'd be looking at the 20-period moving average, but judging by the bullish strength we saw this morning, not sure we're going to break $10 support here. So Sunni looking good. Let's see what volume is like for Sunni comparatively now that we're 35 minutes into the day. 5.8 million when yesterday's total volume was 21.2. So we have 25% of the total volume in the first 35 minutes. We're going to see an increase in bullish volume. Nice job, Fear, if you're out there, for getting a nice big position for a swing trade on Sunni. Current support for TTPH is 1034. Looking like SPY is going to form a lower high. A little bit of a consolidation here to start the day. And going to need to see this essential support hold as the 100 period is separating upwards from the 200 period. And we're looking at the 20 period right now, trying to hold that level of 196.45. 1125 is going to be resistance for Sunni. Let's see what the RSI is looking like. 71, so approaching overbought. TTPH 1034 currently support from the low of this candlestick, coming down to test it now. 8-period exponential moving average support is 1015. So comparatively, volume is very important. We can see for TTPH and Sunni both that we're going to see an increase in volume, and seeing that they're both up 5 and 10%, that is going to be a bullish sign for volume. Google RSI still has room to run. And looking at this daily chart, I'm not shorting, unless Google were to get really oversold on the 5-minute chart. I'm not shorting anything here. That's a bullish looking chart. A break of 674 will be even more bullish, but it's got some nice strong support. Look at the daily chart and how it has ridden up the 50-day moving average support. So TTPH did break the 1034. Looking for further consolidation here on TTPH. We're going to have 50% of yesterday's total volume in the first hour here today. Watching volume on this consolidation decreasing would be a good sign. RSI is now down to 68, so cooling off nicely. Look how quickly that drop was to a bid of 1022. 10-cent drop in a second. Facebook, anytime it's over 92, it is holding up well. Currently hitting major resistance of 20 period and 100 period and 20 period, 20, 200, and 100. So some strong resistance. 92.31, 92.25, 92.30. A nice resistance band right there. Hitting it and pulling back. If it can turn that into support, it will be bullish. Currently, a red candlestick confirms the bearish reversal doji we saw yesterday, and it is very important that it maintains the 50-day moving average support. Facebook 50-day moving average support is 91.86. Nice lower wick off that level today, and still maintaining the higher lows we've seen for the past 4 candlesticks. Down to 10.21 for TTPH. GoPro consolidating a lot. I bet it looks like it fell through the major, testing it right now. So very key support test. If GoPro loses these levels, it will be a bearish development on the day. Watching this closely, you can see that is where the low bounced off of this morning. TTPH 10.21 still holding up. Looking for consolidation down to $10. So we'll see how Netflix reacts here for the rest of the day. If it is able to form some kind of bullish reversal, being able to hold that 93.55 low will be a good sign. GoPro is getting weak. It's all about that 100 and 200 period moving average support on the 5-minute chart. So TTPH is seeing a bullish reversal candlestick. Not a whole lot of cooling off was done here. Very early still though, 4 minutes until it forms. So we're going to watch closely. The high is 10.33 of this candlestick. Still in the lower high, lower low pattern. Let's check back in on SPY. So SPY now has the 20 period moving average as resistance. Need to see that back into support at 196.46, right around that level. Alright, so we had a big bid on TTPH and set a new high on this candlestick. We might see a consolidation pattern here of lower highs and higher lows. Volume is now over 2 million, almost that 50% mark we are watching. Very high volume comparatively to yesterday. So definitely seeing some bounce here. The high of the previous candlestick was 10.43. Only got down to 10.20 on the pullback. I'll stay on for another 15 minutes here until 10:30 and then continue in the chat room. 10:43 would be a bullish break on TTPH, but we're watching volume and it is not convincing on this candlestick. Sunni coming back down after a high of 11.19. We'll see if $11 support holds, and we got the 20 period moving average of 10.93 below that. So volume just let me know that TTPH wasn't going to break out and continue. Always keep your eye on volume and always be comparing it to as many things as you can. Okay, so here we go, seeing some follow through, a break and a higher high. Watching volume very closely. 35 cents short from the high of the day. Watching volume as always. SPY is in a pretty tight range here, not seeing a lot of volatility here this morning. I would not purchase shares of GoPro at 33 just because that would mean that these key support levels are turned into resistance, 33.19 and 33.22. In my opinion, these are essential to hold if we're going to see this bullish reversal confirmation form today. That being said, don't let me sway you from your plan too much. I also yesterday would have said don't go with your gut and purchase shares at the end of the day, and that worked out for you well, so take it with a grain of salt. Currently holding this support level right now, so looking good. I expect it to bounce between this support and the 20-period resistance of 33.48 for the next half hour or so. TTPH up to 1050. Let's check out what the candlestick volume looks like. 4 minutes left to go here, about 3.5 minutes, so could see an increase for the bulls. Highest close of a candlestick was 1065. $33.48 is resistance for GoPro. Not a lot of movement with SPY and Facebook and Netflix and the big board stocks, so it's nice to have the little boys to play with, SUNY and TTPH, on days like this. Not a lot of volatility or opportunity in the big board markets. Looking like we're going to see some calm action until Thursday and the Fed talk. The contrarian in me has me thinking I honestly would not be surprised to see if we get an announcement of a Fed rate hike, to see a knee-jerk reaction of a sell-off for about 15 minutes, and then the bulls to step in and see a big green rally, completely contradictory to what everybody thinks is going to happen. I've seen that happen too many times where everybody is in belief that one thing is going to happen and the exact opposite happens. So I always have the contrarian in me playing out different scenarios. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure. Monday's volume on SPY was so very insignificant that it makes me think that this week, until we do get the Fed meeting, is going to be pretty slow. Volume yesterday was 80 million, currently at 14 million, so should see an increase. Not by much though, unless volume shows up. So TTPH is not confirming the bullish reversal candlestick right now. Watching the 8-period exponential moving average that it bounced off of on this candlestick, that current level is 1021. Looks like GoPro is maintaining that support. SPY is heading up towards its high of day, looking good. Nice hold of 20-period moving average support. A higher high was set from the initial bounce, and we will see if we can set a high of day over 196.79. So now TTPH broke 1020, which was the previous low on the pullback. Now we are looking at $10. 20 period moving average support is 983. Increase in bearish volume compared to the bullish volume on the previous candlestick. Sunni looks to be heading back towards its high of day. Following the bullish move of spike, it appears. Nice lower wick hammer here. That level is now support of 1104. I believe that was a low of day fairly recently as well. Little spike here on TTPH. We'll watch volume and look for signs that this is not just a one candlestick little pop. Netflix looking like it's breaking out a little bit following SPY, who just set a new high. So seeing the big board stocks following suit, Facebook is now flirting with green. Netflix needs to turn 94.94, the 20 period moving average, into support. A break over 94.75 will be a good start, which would set a higher high. Ford, a very bullish day here. Pulling up the daily chart. Currently over the middle Bollinger Band resistance. Now it is support at 1379. The high on the market crash bounce was 1415, and 50-day moving average resistance is 1429. Total volume yesterday was 26 million. Not looking impressive in the volume front, but very nice price action here. SPY looking really good. Let's see if it broke its pre-market high. Pre-market high of 196.90 and just broke it. Very bullish increase in volume. 3 candlesticks looking really good here. Watching the high of day yesterday, 197.01. PCLN is up towards its high of day. A close over 1300 would be very bullish. Looking at a 197.01 break. And let's see where we have the middle Bollinger Band for SPY. 197.03, so that's a lot lower than anticipated. Very good looking right now. A close over the middle Bollinger Band would be great for the bulls. RSI is at 68, getting up towards 70. Very sweet candlestick here for SPY breaking out. Sunni, a new high of day. 1125 is middle Bollinger Band resistance there. Still watching TTPH close for signal for re-entry. The low for TTPH on this pullback thus far is 10.11. Facebook coming up towards its high of day, seeing a nice bounce with SPY. A green day would negate the bearish reversal doji we saw yesterday for Facebook. Watching this bid on TTPH of 1025. A big ask of 1030. So we'll see if the bulls are going to break 1030 or the bears are going to break 1025. And there is the bullish break. So starting to see some signs here of potential continuation upwards. High of the previous 5-minute candlestick was 1035, so a break there is bullish, higher high. And 1025 support was erased as well, so not much information there. Yeah, LLU breaking support put in on the two low of days of fifth. Let me look at the daily chart. I can't remember exactly what the levels were. We had the lows of 52.88 and 52.91. That was the double bottom that looked good, and the bullish reversal hammer that never was confirmed. Currently, Lulu is oversold, but there is no support on the daily chart. We have the lower Bollinger Band of 52.39. So that is the last level of support. MACD is in a very steep downtrend, so we are going to see a bullish reversal. It just was not ready yet for Lulu. Did not see bullish reversal confirmation on the daily chart. First red flag today was a break of the low yesterday, which was 53.15. And the big glaring siren for a red flag was the break of 52.88. That's the kind. Look at the daily chart for Lulu to see the kind of stop loss where you would put it under 52.88 at about 52.86, just because this break of this low would absolutely ruin the bounce and the trade would be thrown in the trash for now. That is where the stop loss level would go. There is no support on Lulu. The lower Bollinger Band is 52.39. Cannot stress stop losses enough, especially on an oversold or a stock that has dropped huge and is oversold and you're trying to get a bounce on it before bullish confirmation. I'll pull up the daily chart here to point out exactly what I was talking about. So we had these two candlesticks with a double bottom low. That is when my interest was peaked in Lulu. We saw a hammer here, which is a bullish reversal candlestick. So Lulu was looking good after this second day. Yesterday we saw a nice higher high. Things were looking great, and then the bears stepped in and crushed it. We did still have a higher low and a higher high and a doji form, so the trade was not in the trash yet. A doji is still a bullish reversal candlestick, and we need confirmation of that, which is a green candlestick would confirm. Did not get the green candlestick after the hammer for confirmation. Did not get the green candlestick today for confirmation of the doji bullish reversal. First red flag was a break of yesterday's low of day, 53.15. That was breaking the higher low pattern we were seeing. We had a lower low set. And then breaking this 52.88, that was when the trade went in the trash. So stop losses are absolutely essential with every trade you make. If you make a trade and you do not place a stop loss, in my opinion, you should be saying in your head, I am doing something wrong right now. I know some of you don't use stop losses. Cannot recommend it enough. This is coming from a place of prior experience. I've made all these stop losses mistakes, not having them, getting stuck in trades, watching my money disappear. It's a terrible feeling, and stop losses can prevent it every single time. Nice job, Carmen. That key support break was a great entry for puts on Lulu. So let me flip back to Fidelity. Feel free to ask any questions on this daily chart and this play of Lulu that did not pan out. Still going to keep it on watch list as it is oversold RSI. and a MACD that is in a very unsustainable downtrend. There will be a bounce. It just was not ready yet. Did not see the bullish confirmation. Saw lower lows set in, and stop losses are absolutely essential. You're going to hear me say, I know it's going to be a broken record, but you're going to hear me say this from now until the end of eternity about stop losses. So TTPH looking like it might head down to $10. 10.11 is the low of this pullback. And we saw a double bottom of 10.11. This candlestick, 10.11, and then the next one, 10.11 as well. I just got a question about stop losses on options. I do use stop losses on options as well. I really like the play of getting into an option, having it move in my favor, and then setting my stop loss at break even. I don't like the time decay factor of options, so the more protection I can have, the better. I know it's a little hard to judge where to put the stop loss at on your option. It's a lot easier on the stock common shares, but if you can estimate or just look at your risk, how much you're willing to risk. If you're willing to risk losing 5% on this trade, figure out what 5% loss would be and put your stop loss there. So TTPH is now heading down to $10. We did not hold the double bottom low of the pullback of 10.11. We have the 20 period moving average support now at 9.90, and we're going to see if $10 can hold, and if not, we're going to come down to that support of 9.90. SPY heading up towards its high a day again, looking really good. Let's check out how the 5-minute chart is looking. Currently trading above the daily middle Bollinger Band. Great sign. And look at volume. We're 2 minutes into this candlestick, and look at what the bullish volume is looking like to the previous candle's bearish volume. Not even halfway into this candlestick. I'm going to stick on TTPH for a little while here as re-entry is quickly approaching. Watching PCLN for a close over 1300. Let's check out Sunni support. $10.98 is a 20 period moving average. We had a low pullback of 1104. So watch 1104 or 10.98. Decreasing volume pattern on TTPH. Checking out the daily chart of TTPH just to get a sense of how we stand. A bit of an upper wick right now, but expecting some more follow through bullishly. That's a decent sized bid at 10.07. Let's see how that holds up. SPY continuing upward. That bullish volume was the signal that there was more to come. So this is a very significant development for SPY on the daily chart if it holds up. Very bullish signal closing above the middle Bollinger Band. Let's see what other SPY resistance we have. $197.61, which was the high of the day on September 8th. So you can see every 5 minutes that gets locked in, the 20 period moving average for TTPH creeps higher. Judging by how long we have seen the stock consolidate, I would expect this support level to hold. Watching for a break of a higher high. Previous high candlestick was 1025. So I'll stay on for a few more minutes here to see if we can see TTPH put in some signs of a bounce. The low right now is 1006 on this pullback. Facebook looking great, heading up towards our $93 target. And currently negating that doji. I mentioned in the video and in the coverage on the watch list just how there were a lot of bullish signs, and that the shape of the candlestick was the one bearish sign. So it was kind of like a cautious watching how it goes, but seeing how SPY is trading today and how Facebook currently is trading, setting a higher high, it is looking like that doji is not going to signal a bearish reversal. Sunni watching 1104 support. GoPro maintaining that key support, 100 and 200 period. And exactly as predicted, it is bouncing between 20 period resistance and this support level. So the resistance is now 33.46 and support is 33.21, 33.24. Note this volume, very big bearish volume spike here. And we are testing support. Break of the low of the day, 33.14, will be a bearish sign for GoPro. Sunni has broke 1104. We're now watching 11 and the 20 period moving average support. Watch GoPro. Very close to losing the bullish start of the day. Sunni 20 period moving average support is 1099. Not a whole lot of volume at all on this consolidation, so should see a nice bounce in the near future on Sunni. Bearish reversal candlestick forming on SPY. Could see some cooling off here. 20 period moving average support is coming up at 196.62. TTPH continuing to consolidate, continuing to see decreased volume. Very little volume this 5-minute candlestick. Bearish MACD cross. And GoPro set a new low of day, so now we're going to be watching GoPro for a back test of this resistance. Expecting it to pop up and test the 33.23 or 33.20 level, and if it gets rejected from there, puts in GoPro might be a viable play. I'm going to pull up the daily chart just to double check. $34 is strong resistance on GoPro. Close above $34 will be the sign that we could see some bullish bounce, but as of right now, low of the day yesterday, 32.62, appears we might be headed there. 20 period moving average support for TTPH will shortly be over $10. We have a higher high on the candlesticks. If we see a break of 1035, it will be bullish, but definitely want to see the volume show up as we have a very clear decreasing volume pattern. GoPro currently back testing those resistances. Currently above them. We'll see where this candlestick closes with 4.5 minutes to go. So as of right now, this candlestick right here, that is what I am looking at for a rejection of the back test. But it still has not formed yet, so still a little bit too early. Facebook is having a really good day, continuing that best of the bulls put on the watch list 2 days ago. Netflix, a nice spike. Let's see if it was able to turn its key resistance into support. Not yet. Good job getting over the 20 period moving average, setting a higher high over all these long upper wicks. But the key test is going to be these 100 and 200 periods. You can see the 200 is exactly where we pulled back from pre-market. So GoPro, again, candlestick has some time to form, but looking for more downside if we're not able to turn this back into support, the 100 and 200 period moving averages. Watching for a volume spike on TTPH. So the price action is looking nice on TTPH, but the volume still needs some more there. We are going to see an increase in volume, but the previous 5 minutes was so minuscule that is not very telling just yet. SPY new high of day. Let's see what the RSI is, see if it matches with Jason's chart there. RSI is at 72. 197.62 was, I believe, the next resistance we were looking at. Upper wick on TTPH here, showing it is not ready just yet. GoPro still struggling with those key resistance levels. PCLN at 1300. Close over 1300 and 1320 should be on deck. So looking, if there's a break at 1035 and the volume showed up. So here are the bulls for TTPH. A little bit of a wide spread, and it kind of happened out of nowhere, but a break above 1050 will be the sure sign that it's on. Volume, this 5 minute candlestick will be very telling. GoPro looks like it was able to maintain. Looks like it passed that back test of resistance. Turned it back into support. So holding off on the bearish GoPro for now. That is why we wait for the candlestick to completely form before making our plays. PCLN looking really good here. Overextended a wee bit on the 5-minute chart. I would wait for some consolidation, but if we close above 1300, 1320 should be fairly easy. Perhaps a back test of 1300 support. I could not say anything about where SPY is going to drop down because right now all signs are very bullish for SPY. Turning this middle Bollinger Band into support is a great first sign. We are now overextended. 77 is a very high RSI for SPY. So definitely could be a potential quick put flip. Watching for bearish reversal signs to show up. Getting over the middle Bollinger Band resistance for SPY on the daily chart, I cannot stress enough how bullish of a development that is if we close above it. That is the trading above the middle Bollinger Band means you're trading in the upper bullish trading channel, and we have not been up there on SPY since August 18th, so almost a month, and we have not been up there for a prolonged period of time on SPY since July 30th. So a month and a half. And by a prolonged period of time, I just mean 3 days there, 4 days. Alright, I'm going to sign off here. That's an hour and a half this morning of live webcam. I'm going to keep this up and stay in the chat room and unplug the mic. We are seeing a bearish reversal candlestick forming on SPY here with still 2 minutes to go, so we're going to wait to see how it forms. Currently an inverted hammer. Inverted hammer at the top of an uptrend is a bearish reversal candlestick. A red candlestick afterwards. Next 5-minute period would confirm this. Watching for the candlestick to form at 10:48. We got a minute and a half left. And we'll be keeping our eyes on Sunni, TTPH, PCLN, Facebook, and the whole crew. So thank you everybody for tuning in this morning. And keep your eyes on this follow-through pullback for SPY. All right, thank you.